I want to share how I made 22% on my trading account in 6 days following these 3 simple rules. And in the last video I made, I discussed the first 2 rules. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing the third one. This is the most important rule that every single trader needs to follow. This is the make it or break it line of delineation between a trader that becomes consistently profitable over time and a trader that blows account after account after account until they are out of the game for good. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell for notifications because we are bringing you the juiciest trading content here on YouTube. This third rule is so important, but unfortunately, it's something that cannot be taught. And the reason why it can't be taught is because I truly believe that every single trader that is consistently losing and blowing an account already knows what I'm about to say. The problem is they don't have the self-control to actually apply this to their trading. And here's what it is: having the patience and the discipline to abide by the first 2 rules. Now remember, the first 2 rules are: number 1, have a strategy and only enter a trade if one of your strategies presents a clearly defined setup. The second rule is abide by good risk management, not risking more than 1% per trade. Rule number 3 is have the patience and the discipline to abide by rules 1 and 2. Now, whenever a trader is taking multiple losses, it's because they're not sticking to rules 1 and 2. If you are taking a massive hit to your account, losing 5, 10, 20, 100% of your account, I guarantee that you are not abiding by rules 1 and 2. I cannot tell you how many times I have taken a massive loss in my earlier days of trading because of getting emotional. And when you get emotional, it causes you not to stick to the first 2 rules. Let me give you some scenarios that would oftentimes happen to me. I would come to the chart, and one of the strategies and setups that I had been waiting for already played out while I was asleep. And then what do? Instead of waiting for another setup, instead of going back to the drawing board and accepting the fact that I missed a trade, but there's going to be another trade out there, I FOMO into a position. I take a trade when I should not take a trade. What does this mean? This means I have no clearly defined stop loss for the trade. It means I have no clearly defined take profit for the trade. It means I'm entering a trade without risk management. It also means I'm entering a trade without my strategy, because the trade, according to my strategy, already happened. So now I'm gambling. And when this happens, it sets off some kind of psychological spiral in your head that leads to more and more bad decisions. One bad decision in trading has the propensity to lead to more and more bad decisions. In fact, trading is one of those things where it will show you how weak-minded you are, right? It will show you how weak your character is, where you don't have the self-control and discipline to do the things that you know you should be doing. In fact, I'm a firm believer that one of the best ways to better yourself, better your character, grow as a person is to get good at trading, because it will develop habits. It will develop discipline that will carry over into other aspects of your life, like family, diet, fitness, relationships, spirituality. But I digress. Now, here's the problem with not sticking to rule number 1 and rule number 2. Now, remember, the purpose of rule number 1 and rule number 2 is to give you 3 things: a clearly defined entry, a clearly defined stop loss, a clearly defined take profit, and a clearly defined risk management where you know how much you are risking per trade. And if you haven't gone through the first 2, I recommend you go back, watch the last video I uploaded, because it will go through those first 2 rules. If you do not abide by those first 2 rules, you are now entering a trade without any kind of system that will mitigate risk, without any kind of system that is putting the probabilities in your favor, and without any kind of system that's telling you when to get out of the trade, whether it's a win or a loss. Now, here's why that's a problem. If you're taking a random trade, okay, where's your stop loss going to go? You have to enter a random position size, and then you have to use emotion to determine when and if to get out of that trade if it goes against you, right? And also, you don't know where your target is. So when are you going to close the trade? So let's say you take a short, right? Price is in your favor. You're doing pretty good, right? Oh man, $200, $300, $500, $1,000 in profit. Then you start to get a retracement, right? Now you see that profit going down, $200, $100, $50, dang. All right, the profit's going to go back up eventually, right? But guess what happens? Price starts to go against you. Now what could have been a $1,000 profit is a $200 loss, okay? And so what happens is you now don't know whether or not to close the trade. Should I close the trade? I was in a $1,000 profit. Am I really going to lose $200? No, I'm going to hold the trade, right? What happens? It keeps going against you, right? Now you're at a $500, $600 loss. What do? You don't know when to close the trade because you hadn't predetermined it, right? You're not abiding by rules 1 and 2. So you decide to yourself, you know what? I'm going to double my position size right here, which will change my average entry to right here, so that when the price goes down, now I'm going to make even more money and I'll have a better entry, right? What happens? Price keeps going against you. Now you're taking a loss. Not only did you not know where to close the trade, but you're now taking a loss. Instead of a $1,000 loss, you're taking a $2,000 loss. You let a win turn into a loss because you didn't have any of these things predetermined. And now instead of risking 1% of your account, maybe you just lost 5, 10, 15, 20, 25% in one go. And if you lose 25% in one go, you have to make back more than 25% to break even. Because 25% of 100 is $25. So if you lose $25, you're down to $75. If you make 25% on $75, it's not even going to bring you back to $100. So it's a downward spiral. And then what starts to happen after you take that loss is you start to revenge trade. You're like, dang, I lost 15% of my account. I need to make it back as quickly as possible. So one bad decision turns into another bad decision where you enter another bad trade without a strategy and without good risk management. And that is a very, very slippery slope to blowing an account. I speak for countless traders because it seems that everybody has to learn this by experience. I have not met a single trader who has said, yeah, you know what, Jason, I watched a few YouTube videos and I always use good risk management, right? Everybody has to get burned. But I'm hoping and I'm praying that you watching this video are not one of those people, that you will take this information to heart, right? And it is better to miss a trade and wait for a trade that is according to your strategy using good risk management than it is to take a trade without good risk management. And here's why. Yes, will you FOMO into a trade the first time ever and triple your account because you did it with bad risk management chasing price? Yeah, see, the market's like a drug dealer, right? The market's like a drug dealer. You FOMO short that first time, 50% of your total trading account put on the trade with no clear stop loss, you'll triple your account that first trade, right? Because FOMO trading, chasing price it's like crack cocaine, baby. That drug dealer, the market will give it to you for free the first time, so now you get hooked. And once you get hooked, you will never enter into a FOMO trade like that turns out in your favor again. You'll be forever chasing that first high where you got that big move down and tripled your account until you literally hit rock bottom and lose everything you have. Don't put yourself in that position. I would rather miss a massive move and wait for a good setup that's a smaller move than form the habits that over time are going to take you out of this game. Here's one more thing to keep in mind, guys, about sticking to your strategy, right? Here is one more thing to keep in mind about sticking to your strategy. Let's say that price is dumping like crazy and you enter into a short right here in the middle of the dump. You know you have to put your stop loss above that last high. That's a 9% stop. Where's your target? You don't know. You don't know where your target is, right? You have to hope that price goes down 9% for a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Instead, if you wait for price to bottom out and start to form a local range where there's a clear high and a clear low, then you can look for a scalp trade at the low of the range, take profit at the top of the range, stop loss below the low, and you have yourself a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Remember, if you're abiding by good risk management, whether you are taking this trade or this trade, you're risking that same 1%. What does that mean? That means if you're using good risk management, this is a more profitable trade setup. This tiny little scalp day trade is a better trade setup than chasing a massive dump, right? When you let the emotions get to you, you have to think to yourself, is this even worth taking the trade? No, it's not worth it. You can make more money waiting for a smaller move if you're abiding by rules 1 and rules 2, okay? Now, I highly, highly encourage you guys to take these things to heart, these 3 rules, okay? If you want further education, check out the courses, JaysonCasperTrading.com. I got a 25% discount in the description and the pinned comment. Also, if you want to join our trading group, the VIP Casper Crew Discord, go ahead, JaysonCasperTrading.com, click the link. This is not a signals group, but we do multiple live streams every single day. We gave the short setup in advance for Bitcoin from the all-time high, not the all-time high, from the local high, right? We also gave the long setup on Bitcoin from the low at $24.8 thousand. And again, we're not giving signals, but we're giving you our plans. And we've got a lot of expert traders in there. So if you're interested, make sure to check it out. If you're not interested, don't check it out. Either way, take this advice to heart. That's it for the video, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. May God bless everybody. In the name of Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah, even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Peace.